All right. Well, welcome back to the iWealth podcast. Today we're with Mr. Brad Connors, and we're talking about something that you freshened up.
Yeah.
Your book.
My hair.
No, your book.
My book, yeah.
Why'd you do it, Brad? Why'd you freshen up a book that was working?
Yeah, it's interesting, Matt. Several years ago, I wrote Fish Don't Clap. And I remember sitting down with a mentor of mine and saying, why would I spend the money to invest in this book?
Yeah.
And she said to me, it was that strategic coach, she said to me, Brad, what if you affected many more people that you wouldn't even know by the book? And she gave me an exercise to sit down and ask why 5 times. Why would I write the book and not give this money to charity? And when that answer is, then ask why about that answer, and went through it. And it was like, I need to do this. And so we did it. And it's been wildly successful from the standpoint of people making adjustments in their life that society would tell them otherwise. Society would tell them that you hit your number to retire, you're at 65 and retirement age, it's time to retire. And I had too many people retire, and they shouldn't have. That's why I wrote the book. They were miserable because they lacked purpose. And so it was super important for me to put it out there, but I didn't want it to be a dry book about how smart Brad Connors is and do business with Brad Connors. So it's a parable, and it works. But here's why the redo. I have also had many people ask me, Matt, like, how do I put this in action? So it's a great story. I get the concept, Brad. I don't want to retire. There's a lot of tidbits in there about how do I not run out of money in retirement, and how should I title my assets, and how should I treat my kids equally versus equitably? Like, there's some good analogies in the book that I think really work.
Yeah.
But they asked me, like, how do I put it into practice? And I'm like, well, after talking about it and going through it, I'm like, let's add a chapter. Let's redo a little bit of the book, but let's add a chapter at the end that puts it all together. And I wrote that chapter so that somebody could read the book, get to the last chapter, and now it's Brad present day telling them these are the traits that you will look for when you're looking for a financial advisor firm that you might want to work with. And I think that's super important because I get asked that question quite often. I've got people that have read the book in Missouri that are like, how do I find this advisor that fits? And so what are the traits I should be looking for? What are the questions I should ask? Things like, when you go to see them, look around, do they have their family pictures on their desk? And what are their core values and stuff like that? So I really wanted to bring it all together. We freshened up how it looks. I went and sat in what I said the confession booth was for 2 days in Chicago. And you get a kick out of this because you're an audio-visual guy, but we recorded it for an audiobook, right? Yep. And so I went to this guy's studio, great guy, Christian guy, but I sat in his studio that was a sound booth, and it looked like a confession booth from my early days as a Catholic, and read my book for like 2 straight days. Yeah. And he edited it. So we got it coming up on Audible. We're going to do some speaking engagements with it to try to help educate people. We have a workshop built around the book. Like, there's just a lot of cool things going on with it. Super excited about it. But I have had people like, why would you put the time, effort, and energy into it and redo the book? And maybe you've asked that yourself. Like, why are you doing this, Brad? Have you thought about it?
It seems like a lot of extra work.
Yeah. Have you thought about that? Or?
Well, and just when you're talking about the book, it's interesting because the last piece of it is, how do I implement? To me, it sounds like the thing that you've worked on at the end is that last gear shift of now we've laid the groundwork. You went from first gear to second gear, and you understand a lot of the why. And then the last piece of it is, that 5th or 6th gear where now you're on the implementation side. Yeah.
And here's the other piece that came out of this that's really cool. So we have a QR code that we put in the back of the book. Okay. And so we created some software for ourselves 5 or 6 years ago. We call it 4 Days Coming, Plan on Purpose. Our clients have access to this software. We help put together a profile picture. They pick an avatar for the future, but it helps them keep score of all the things that they're doing financial planning wise. Like, who are your beneficiaries if you want to know? What's Brad's interpretation, or Sean's, or JP's, or Gary's interpretation of my will? All those different planning topics. So now the client has it in their hand, can see it. But we have advisors now that we're licensing it, that they're using it.
Okay.
And so we have advisors around the country using it. And so what's really cool is as this grows, as the network grows, if somebody wants to scan that QR code after they read it in Ohio and say, is there somebody locally around me that I want to work with, or who are the 50 advisor or 50 firms that are using this, they can look through the firms and kind of interview some people and say, I want people that do this type of planning for me. So we're trying to solve that puzzle.
The network piece of that. So you've introduced a network element to the new book.
Yeah. And I think that's important. Like if I'm hanging out with you and you recommend somebody that's a friend of yours, like I intrinsically trust that person.
Yes.
Because it's a friend of yours. And so if you read Fish Don't Clap and you like the planning topics and how planning gets done there, why wouldn't you want to at least interview somebody that uses that same concepts and methodology when it comes to investing and planning? Right?
There you go.
Yeah.
A lot of good work on the book front, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be out in October, and we got a lot of kind of PR stuff that's coming out with it and things like that. I always say that I love myself, kiddingly, but I try not to let my head swell because I'm writing a check and redoing the book. But I really hope it helps people. That's the ultimate why behind iWealth, behind Fish Don't Clap and all this stuff, is to help more people, Matt. Yep. And the more people you help, the more you get helped. It's interesting, right?
And they can still buy the book, right, through Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all those different places where you want to grab the book. So yeah, go out and get it. Take a look. Let us know what you think of it. Would love to get a review, and have a great day.
There you go.